Good morning. I'm Fran Watson. The privilege of leading the meditation this morning is mine on behalf of our Calgary Center for Spiritual Living community. Just welcome you to a space of gentle relaxation, receptivity, and union. I'm going to lead the meditation for about 20 minutes. We'll have a break, and then we will have at 10:30 our amazing service full of prayer, great contemplation, music, community, and a great talk. So join us again after the meditation. And now in this moment, I just invite you to settle into your space, the home that is you, your body, connecting with the surface you're sitting on, lying on, and just feeling that law of gravity operating in you, allowing you to settle, to be received by the earth, to be supported, to be held, to be nourished, to be loved. And this law applies equally everywhere, everyone, every living thing, every existing thing on this planet. And we just settle into this union with that fact, that we are governed and supported by this one law and many others. And we relax into them more and more deeply. So as if there were an elevator gently taking you down, deeper and deeper and deeper into the heart of Mama Earth. Just allowing yourself to relax and be supported and contained. All that does not serve melts away. Those thoughts, those concerns, those worries, that hyperstimulation or negative thought that isn't true, can just be put down now. Choose to put it down. And start to notice your senses. Notice yourself as a human body experiencing life in the space you're in. Life, noticing life. The sounds, the tastes, the smells, the vision behind your eyelids if your eyes are closed, and whatever you behold in your eyesight if they're open. Your skin, alive to the sensations of temperature, pressure, fabric, adornment. skin on skin. Experiencing yourself in the space you're in, allowing life to touch you, and for you to be part of it. Not separate, but engaged actively with it all. Engaged with your awareness. And now start to notice your skin from the inside, that which is held together with muscles, bones, cell by cell, system by system, part by part. The thrum and hum of life itself. Working its magic, expressing itself as this body. However it's feeling this morning, it is perfect. It is a unique blossom in the garden, kissed by divine life, however it is expressed. And just noticing and receiving life through you right now. Receive your breath. Receive your awareness of the pulse, the beat of your heart. Inhabit the beat. Who is this beating heart? What is beating my heart? And just now I choose no separation. Between this body and its creator. And for the next wee while, I will just relax into the fact of who I am. and be with that union of soul, of body, of spirit, mind, as an expression of life here and now. So just rest in this space until you hear my voice again. And as you hear the sound of my voice now, allow this prayer from this precious book, Practicing the Presence by Joel S. Goldsmith, to wash over you. Spirit within me, so much closer to me than breathing, and nearer than hands and feet. You are the all-knowing intelligence of this universe, the intelligence which created it. You are the divine love which has supplied this earth with vegetables and flowers, diamonds, uranium, gold, silver, and platinum. You have filled the heavens with your glory, the stars, sun, and moon, and the oceans with the rhythmic activity of the tides. I acknowledge your presence in all things and as all things. Even before I pray, Spirit, you know my needs. Even before I lift my eyes to or thoughts to you, you not only know my needs, but it is your good pleasure to give me the kingdom I turn to. I turn to you now, not to tell you my need, but to receive the fulfillment of my need. I come to you now, not seeking things, not seeking persons, but seeking your grace, your benediction, the gift of yourself. Let the peace that passeth understanding descend upon me. Your peace, an inner peace, an inner grace, an inner joy, and an inner harmony. Let the Holy Ghost enfold and envelop me. Let the Christ Spirit fill my soul, fill my mind, fill my being, and fill my body. In quietness and in confidence shall be my strength, because the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. It is a power of peace and grace to all who touch my consciousness. And so it is. Namaste. See you at 10:30.
Hold on to me, don't let me go. Who cares what they see? Who cares what they know? Your first name is free, last name is dumb. So choose to believe in where we are from. Man's red flower is in every living thing. Mind, use your power. The sun, atoms in the air, organisms in the sea, the sun and yes man, we're all from the same thing. Freedom, 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 That was something. Give it up for Elevation. Yeah, well, good morning, everybody. How are ya? Happy hot Sunday. Holy smokes, if you're tuning in from someplace other than southern Alberta, you may not know this, but we are in the midst of quite a heat wave. And this is coming from a California girl saying that it's quite a heat wave because it's like Temecula temperatures right now. So anyway, welcome to the center. If you are new to us, I'll introduce myself. I'm Pat Campbell, and I am the spiritual director of the center here. And if you are new to our teaching, there's a few things you need to know. I've got a slide that I've just put up for you to see. And if you can see going around the sides of the slide, there are representations of many of the world's faith traditions. Not all of them by any chance, but many of the more major faith traditions. And when we say that you are welcome here, we absolutely mean that. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, however you got to where you are, whatever faith tradition you were born into, you were raised into, it helps make up the tapestry of who you are, even if you are no longer practicing that. And because we understand that there is a thread of truth. Get the analogy with tapestry? Get it? There is a thread of truth that is going through all of them. And that is what we celebrate. So whoever you are, wherever you are on your path, you're absolutely welcome here. We're so pleased that you decided to join us here this Sunday morning. So because we're on live stream, there's an opportunity, if you're tuning in through Facebook, to do chat, to talk and kind of greet one another. And you know, if something has moved or something, we love to see the chat. We always read them. It's really, really important for us because right now we are doing this to basically an empty room. So having the comments from you all is so important. It really lets us know that you're out there. And one of the things I'd like to know is, where are you tuning in from? Most of our people are from Calgary area and from southern Alberta, but I know we got people tuning in from other places. So if you're watching today and you're willing to just say, hey, I'm tuning in from here, I'm tuning in from there, that'd be awesome to know. So thanks very much. We're going to start out by singing what we call our Kong song, and this is one of my favorite ones. It's just so heart and eye opening. So let's sing together, I Open My Eyes.
I open my eyes to the love all around. Now I have found the Spirit in me. I open my eyes to the love all around. Now I have found the Spirit in me. I open my eyes to the love all around. Now I have found the Spirit in me. I open my eyes to the love all around. Now I have found the Spirit in me. I open my eyes to the love all around. Now I have found the Spirit in me. I open my eyes to the love all around. Now I have found the Spirit in me.
I really love that song, except because I love it so much, I want to do this. I open my eyes and close my eyes when I sing that phrase. I always have to be kind of aware of it. Before I get into the rest of our announcements, I want to make an acknowledgement to our core of practitioners. If you are new to our teaching, you may never have heard of a practitioner, but they're kind of like spiritual coaches, to put it in modern day vernacular, kind of like spiritual coaches. And we have 15 ministers and practitioners here at this center. And we all gathered yesterday via Zoom to have a retreat. We met Friday evening and most of yesterday, and it was absolutely wonderful. And I want to give a real shout out to the three of our core who put the retreat together. It was so well planned. It was so lovingly presented. So Reverend Marjorie Contenti, Reverend Leslie McNamara, and practitioner Tracy Peterson. In your home, give them a hand. They are the spiritual, not just those three, our practitioners are the spiritual backbone of our center. And with us being apart for this length of time, the fact that we are still such a cohesive community is due in no small part to the fact that we have practitioners who are knowing the truth about us and knowing the truth about our community, even when we're not able to be together in person. So thank you, my beautiful, wonderful practitioners, and thank you to Reverend Marjorie, Reverend Leslie, and Tracy for putting that wonderful thing together. Okay, so I know you're wondering what's going on with about reopening the center. So I'm going to tell you what I know, which is some, but maybe not everything. So what I know is on Thursday, this coming Thursday, July 1st, the province of Alberta is opening up. No restrictions. In fact, one of our board members, Kathy Matthews, called the government and said, so what do you mean by no restrictions? And he said, what part of no restrictions are you not understanding? Smart aleck guy. So apparently that means no restrictions. That means gatherings together. That means singing together, all that kind of stuff, kind of the stuff that you do in a spiritual center. So yay, great news. And the city of Calgary still has its mask bylaw in place. And they did not vote to, or they voted to not drop it. And so we are still bound by the mask bylaw of the city of Calgary. So, however, it's a lot of information. However, they are voting again on July 5th to determine whether they're going to drop the mask bylaw or whether they're going to continue it on either through the end of July or through the end of the year. So therein lies our conundrum, is that we don't know when that's going to be. So it's soon, but we don't know when yet. So what I'm going to ask you to do is if you want to come to the center, keep envisioning it open. Don't just show up, because we're not ready to accommodate you yet. But just know that we have got our finger on the pulse, and that when we know, you'll know. Is that fair? All right. So that's just what I want to let you know. So no, not this coming Sunday. Don't show up. Stay at home still. Enjoy the live stream. And our live stream people, I know you're concerned that we're going to drop you. We're not. We love the live stream. We love you. Everything will continue with that. We'll just have a live audience as well. Okay, I think that's all I got to say about that. The little library is there for you to avail yourself of. If you want some personal development or spiritual books, they're there. If you want to drop some off, we will gladly take them. We don't want your novels. We don't want your do-it-yourself books. Maybe, but what we're really looking for are spiritual books and self-help personal development books. And you can either bring them here to the office, and Kat will make sure it gets stocked up, or you can just go ahead and take something out, put something in. So our ongoing groups, many of them are taking a break for the summer. The Consciousness Seekers are on break right now. Coffee with Dr. Pat, sorry you're stuck with me. I love my coffee group. I love my coffee afternoon. So that's Wednesdays at noon. That's open to absolutely everybody. Information in the newsletter. Thursday meditation is on break. The Saging Circle is on break. And the Sunday after service chat is ongoing as well. So you can find all that information in the newsletter or on the website. So you can join me for coffee on Wednesday or for coffee on Sunday, and it'd be wonderful to see a lot of you there and just be able to look at you eye to eye on screen. So I think that's all I've got. Yep. Okay, so we're going to move now into our more sacred part of our service, and Amy is going to lead us in a beautiful chant. And our practitioner of the day, Fran Watson, is going to give us our spiritual mind treatment. So Franny and I are sharing a microphone, so just a moment.
Open wide my heart. Open wide. open wide my heart, open wide my heart, open wide my heart, open wide my heart, open wide my heart.
My heart. My heart. A creation from that one, that only one, that source of all there is. That which is eternal, that which is whole, complete and perfect, from its very, very beginning, beyond beginning. That creation from which life itself expresses in magnificent, wondrous ways the fullness of life itself, the universe, and all the universes beyond. I inhabit all of it. It inhabits me. There is no separation, there is no wall, no veil that can deny that force that flows through every magnificent cell of every body. It permeates the mind and the being. And as I know this to be true for me, it is true for all who hear this word. I open now to receive life. Receive the perfection of this wondrous experience called life itself. The beating heart, the physicality, the whole system of it. And I allow myself to align with this fact of who I am. I align with nature itself. This exquisite rhythm. The beginning of a day, the silence of the morning, the activity and outpouring of life through the course of the day, the rest at night. I align with the seasons and the rhythms of warmth and cool, the frost and the melt, the flow of life itself, the seasons, the seasons, the seasons. My own body's rhythms of awake and sleep, ingest, digest, release. And as I align with these things, I know that I must let go of these things that no longer serve. Old ideas that are not the truth of me. Instead, I allow new, fresh energy to flow through my being, to permeate my wellness, my well of life, to allow this fresh spring to flow with freedom and clarity and kindness, to flow with that stream of love that fills my life and everyone I touch. I'm so, so, so grateful for this fresh energy that I turn towards every moment, knowing it is me. It is each one. And so now I release my word into the law, knowing it is done as spoken. It is freedom itself, to become ever more, ever bigger, ever more, ever bigger. And so it is.
Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart.
And with our hearts open wide from that beautiful treatment and that beautiful song, I invite you to say with me the vision and the mission statements for the Calgary Center for Spiritual Living. These are our guiding documents. This is who we are. This is what we stand for. So let's say this together. The Calgary Center for Spiritual Living is a beacon of spiritual illumination that inspires individuals to reveal their wholeness, co-creating a world that works for everyone. The phrase that jumped out for me today is revealing their wholeness. We live in a whole universe. We live whole lives, wholeness. Nothing needs to be added, nothing needs to be subtracted. In this human experience, it may feel as if that, but spiritually, we are all part of the one. Therefore, we are whole, perfect, and complete. So we are about revealing that wholeness. And one of the ways that we do it is through our mission statement. The Calgary Center for Spiritual Living makes accessible a way of living and thinking that reveals one's spiritual magnificence and personal power. We co-create an inclusive community that fosters an expansion of consciousness. What jumped out, I think because of the practitioner work we did yesterday, what jumped out to me today is once again revealing one's spiritual magnificence. Spiritual magnificence. That's you, that's me, that's all of us. Woohoo! Yeah? All righty. So, our newly named band, and we just love the name. We just love the musicians. So please welcome Elevation featuring Amy Bishop.
Elevation in the house. One, two, three, four.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful
Bishop and Oliver Miguel. Oliver, can you bring that over? Thank you. And also give it up for Lisa Jacobs, Luis Tovar, Steph Chapman, and Remy. Remy's with us too. How wonderful. Boy, that was rousing. Thank you, guys. How do you feel? Pretty darn good. So because I was at the practitioner retreat yesterday, I didn't think about putting together a talk. And I decided to talk to one of the most dynamic and grounded speakers that we have in our midst. And he said yes. So I'm so pleased to introduce you to our guest speaker for today. But first I want to say a few things about him. Our speaker grew up here in the Bow Valley. He was born in Exshaw. I didn't know people actually lived in Exshaw, but apparently they do. He is a licensed and ordained minister. Lack of a better word, he rents himself out as a mountain man expert. He is also an accountant and taught at SAIT for many, many, many years. And his most recent love of the way that he shows up and spreads his joy is by playing Santa along with his beloved Anna, who plays Mrs. Claus. So without any further ado, please welcome Reverend Doug Craig.
Whee! Well, good morning, everyone. Oh, my. I think this was set up for a shorter person.
If you need the light's up right here.
Oh, heavens. I think I'm shining bright enough today. Before I get started, I wanted to just allude to this weather that we're having that Dr. Pat's talking about. And, of course, since she got here in 13, her favorite thing about the Calgary weather is it like this all the time? And the favorite answer is, it's usually not like this. Well, we're going to have it in the record-setting temperatures in the high 90s. We're going to reach, I think, 100. And in the mountains they might, and I don't ever recall that. So it's not usually like that, Pat. Well, good morning, everyone. Again, my talk today is a little bit to cool things off. It's called Opening Up to the Flow. Now, I know you've all heard about giving and receiving and things like that, but this idea is just a little bit more encompassing and a little bit more bigger than that. And I just want you to open up to the idea of seeing things a bit different. So, how many people here and in the audience like waterfalls? Everybody, I'm a waterfall fanatic. I'm going to get some of the best waterfalls in the Canadian Rockies on my docket this summer. But you know, when you're looking at the waterfall, you're in awe of the flow and everything, the majesty, the energy. However, did you ever think that there's maybe more to it? I want to draw your attention to the picture that was sent out and have a look at the waterfall picture that was provided by my good buddy and hiking companion, Brian Mulder. He got in behind the falls, and just have a look at that picture and see, does it look different than it would on the outside? Isn't it more beautiful? Doesn't it expand that? And that's just life. When we look at something that we know a little bit different, it expands and grows. And then when we're going in our life to get this abundance, all we got to do is add a few features. So what we could do is add a little motion and a little sound and see if that looks any different for us. Wow, did that take you to a different place? Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to do two things today. I'm going to talk about opening up more to the flow and the law of circulation. And then I'm going to talk about cleansing the channel so the flow works better. So the first part about this, Ernest Holmes said in The Science of Mind, prosperity is the outpicturing of substance in our affairs. We must receive, utilize, and extend the gift. Receive, utilize, extend. Jim Rohn said, only by giving are you able to receive more than you have. And in this book we're looking at right now by Dennis Merritt Jones called The Art of Abundance, he really summarizes it well when he says, remember that being in the flow means wisely accepting, which is our receiving, utilizing, which is our using. We don't talk much about that, eh? And extending, which is giving or releasing the energy of abundance, irrespective of the form in which it comes to you. So when we're looking at that, we're not talking about how we can demonstrate the money, with money, this, that. We're not talking about the things. Those are the outpicturing of understanding the process. And when we center ourselves in the process, automatically the abundance of the universe is ours, and we declare it and it'll be there. However, we got to work that a little bit more. So one of the things that's standard with the giving, always remember, it's not just giving gifts, it's giving anything. No matter what it is, it's giving of yourself, your time, your talent, your treasure. But always remember, the key element is no attachment to outcomes. It does not matter what happens after the gift leaves your hand, you're complete. If you have a stake in or a feeling in of how people or things receive it or utilize it, then you have not freely given. You freely give of yourself and what you have without any attachment. That puts a new perspective on it, and it's not just a gift, it's everything, even attitude. Oh, that works really good. I don't know whether I want to talk about that one. Then receiving. I remember, I didn't want anybody to give me anything because I didn't want to owe anybody anything. Whew! Oh, no, I'm not going to let you buy me lunch. You buy me lunch all the time. No, protest. I always tell people, oh, no, please, just say thank you, God. That's all you got to do. Just say thank you, God. We block our flow of receiving. Well, I didn't ask for that. Well, maybe you didn't, but it's coming your way, and it's coming for a reason. You might not know it, but you receive graciously and utilize it or move it on. So we're always in this process of giving and receiving. We just got to be cognizant of it, more aware of it, be grateful for what we're receiving, and let it go. I remember when I was up in Red Deer, I had this couple there, very, very wonderful folks. The salt of the earth. And I'm struggling a bit. I'm tipping in at 425 pounds. That's another story. And they bring me this beautiful Christmas present, all wrapped up. And it's a box of the most expensive, a can of the most expensive English toffee you could get. Well, I remember the first time they give it to me, I went into a frenzy. How did they do that to me? Well, don't they know that? And of course, I'm blocking the flow. I'm not receiving. I received the gift graciously with gratitude, change the label on it, and graciously give it to someone else. Do you understand what I'm doing there? What a difference it made when you start doing it that way. And then there's, of course, the other one we don't really talk about. And this is where the flow really breaks down. Check out your closet, your basement, your garage, your bank account, and see if there's any of this around it that I am not using it. When you inhale, you receive, you use it, and exhale. Most of the time we talk about inhale and exhale. We don't talk about the using. People forget about that. If you don't use it, you're done. So if you're not using it, you owe it to yourself to circulate it. Because once you start releasing, then the universe, you don't even have to be concerned about what's coming. Because when you start releasing, the universe will fill that void at the level of your consciousness. I retired from St. last April 20th. And thank God I let it go, because I am so busy. Because you would not believe the great opportunities to be of service that the universe has brought me. Absolutely wonderful. And I am just so happy about it. And you know what? The Moody Blues wrote a song once called On the Threshold of a Dream. And I've gone through that process a lot myself over the years. But right now, I really feel that I'm in that position again. And it's something I've been working on for a couple of years. And it just surprised me. But this goes into the next thing. Okay? We all got a basic idea of how we could tweak that part of the system, really focusing in on the using. I got one good story to tell about the using. Old John, my hometown kids growing up, Old John was a confirmed bachelor, had a shanty he lived in, and he saved every dime. Every dime. Nobody to leave it to or nothing, but he saved every dime. And he used to carry 2 wallets. One with the big stuff in to buy whiskey and stuff like that, and one with all his change. And I used to juice him because my dad was having coffee with him. I said, "Hey, John, you're retired now. I guess you're going to buy breakfast." Well, he didn't bring out the big wallet. He brought out the little one. "Oh, look," he says. "Oh, I'm just a poor retired guy, got no money, can't do that." If he wanted something, he went to the other wallet. But any time that was there, he was so protective of his money. And he had a lot of it. And he wasn't a bad guy, but he was so afraid to use it. Anybody like that? Saving your money for a rainy day? Don't save it for a rainy day. It's going to pour. I want to talk about the big and most insidious ones that I can possibly imagine that come into our life. And that's shame and guilt. They're the bottom of everything. There's shame and guilt in everything. And that's one of the hardest things, I think, to cure. Oprah Winfrey said, "What you focus on expands, and what you focus on, the goodness of your life, you create more of it. Opportunities, relationships, even money flowed my way when I learned to be grateful no matter what happened in my life." And this is the one that helped me for today, Ernest Holmes. "The universe holds nothing against me." God, I needed to hear that. "It can hold nothing against me because it can know nothing unlike itself. Therefore, it knows only me as perfection." Yes. Okay. Shame and guilt. I went through a lot of terrible experiences in my life. I had a lot of guilt around it. And I managed that, and I dealt with all the guilt around it. But this element of shame, I never had any shame about anything I did. Never come up with my parents. All the other stuff did. I talked with them, resolved it. But the shame never come up. 2 years ago, on my 40th anniversary of just about arriving at the center and going through one of the worst years of my life, 2 years ago in 79, working on this, still something's missing. You know what I'm saying? And I'd heard about these people that lock stuff inside of them and turned it away, and years later, and I've experienced it with them and working, but that didn't happen to me, or so I thought. I had a little Pandora's box in me called shame, because that was the first feeling I had as a kid. My mom's a beautiful soul. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her, but it was Shame on you, Doug. Shame on you. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? What will the neighbors think? How could you do that? Because she couldn't control me. Try that on for size. Ask Anna. It's hard. I'm hard to control. I'm very difficult. And as a child, that was the only tool my mother had. So now I'm going to take it to a next step, and I'm going to tell you a story that I have never told. You've all heard a lot about my great stories of rehabilitation and change and transformation and doing things to open up and expand my life. And there's another one, and it really happened, and it was really there, and it was 30 years ago I come to that, and I am so grateful because I have so many beautiful people in my life, close to me, friends, family, everything that I love, but I could not have had in my life. And the last of the shame come up. I guess, I never really dealt with the shame part of this issue. So, today, I'm going to do that. I'm going to tell you the story. It has a wonderful ending. But I'm going to tell you about how a nice young white boy could go up to be racist, prejudiced, and extremely homophobic. And about how the lack of knowledge and ignorance and shame can create a miserable existence for a young man growing up until one comes to the resolution. And I'm going to tell you how that happened. Because you see, that was my mom that started, but it was my dad. I'm a very, fairly rugged, tough guy, everybody would say. But no, I'm a cream puff inside. I'm very sensitive, very vulnerable, but nobody ever did it. And when I got hurt when I was a little boy, I cried. I was very sensitive. My dad was a war vet, and his buddies were war vets, and they were combat veterans, and you didn't cry. You got up, got on it. Because if you cried, you were like a woman or a queer. Holy crap. And I heard it more than once. Okay, going along, nice young boy, good shape. High school, 15 years old. Gone from a 15-person classroom to 2 big classes of 40 each in a Banff high school. We go for coffee every morning. We're sitting in the restaurant. One morning, this guy comes up, older guy, not as old as I am, but he sits down beside me. And he starts to caress the outside and then the inside of my leg. And I'm sitting there, and I don't know what the hell's going on. I know I don't like what I'm experiencing. And why me? There's all my other guys there. Why did he pick me? Holy crap. Maybe I am queer and I don't know it, because I'm just coming into puberty too. I had no inclinations, and I kind of liked girls. And then it happened again in another place. And then the third time it happened, I don't know what it was, but I was drunk and I blacked out and it was violent. And I know I come out on top. And I never seen a guy again, but the damage was done. I was so screwed up and mixed up that I didn't want to try girls just in case I didn't like them, and I really wasn't interested in guys. So I'm there, real buff, 195-pound, hardcore football player. I put on 150 pounds in 2.5 years. I became a heavy drinker, so that kept the girls away so I didn't have to try it. That kept me safe. I never got through that part of it till I was 22 years old. And when I was 22 years old, I started having experience with girls, and I parked all of that. And all of that stuff kind of stayed there, but I still was homophobic and all this stuff. You know what I mean, eh? And so I then got into this, and I started dealing with the guilt. The prejudice was against the French and the local indigenous, because it was around the reserve, and it was a thing passed down in the military, the French-British thing and all of that. But it was Quebec. Anti-Quebec. I don't have nothing to do with those guys. My dad taught me that. Well, guess what? I worked at that. My best friend today, my wife, my daughter's husband, everybody, my grandson, they're all from Quebec in my life. Guess what I would have been shutting out if it hadn't been for that? Okay. Now the homophobic thing. This is the big thing. Finally, I'm in this philosophy for about 10 years. It's still there. I start to get in this movement. I love these guys. I love these people. I love these men. They're my great teacher, but they're queer. Huh? I can't deal with this. So I went to a youth camp in Southern California with my kids, and there was a lady there running the youth camp by the name of Pam, and she was gay. I decided it was time. I never told this story before. I never told it, never spoke again after, and I went to see Pam, and we had gone out for dinner that night off campus. God, it was hard. I understand what coming out is like. Okay? Because this is the second, because I'd only did it there, never anybody else. Because I couldn't, because I had shame. And I realized that that man was not gay. That man was a pedophile. Holy crap, Batman. I didn't know there was a difference. That helped me get free, and I got so many beautiful, wonderful people that are on the gay side of things in my life, I can't even believe it. How lucky I am. And I never shared that story, and it's a good story. It's a really good story. It needs to be told because the ignorance and the lack of knowledge and the lack of understanding about what's going on in our world needs to be brought to a head, and people need to get it. So that's why I risk coming out today and sharing my story of shame with you. And what can happen when you break through those barriers. And now I can hardly wait to see what happens, because this is another barrier for me of sharing it. And you saw the flow. You could see what it looks like when you add a little animation and a little feeling to it. That's exactly what's happening for me. So I love and appreciate myself a lot more than I ever have. I've gone through the catharsis of release. I've gone through the cathexis of holding fast to. And I got nothing in that pot except developing my consciousness and allow the universe to fill it with any way I could be of service. So find your highest, find your best, find your ideal. Don't be afraid. It's all about you, and once you share and get that shame and guilt out, the abundance is there. You'll see everything differently, and you'll get what you deserve because you're worthy of the very best, and you deserve it now. I know it for myself. I know it for you. I accept it to be so, and so it is. Whee!
Reverend Doug Craig, thank you so much. Thank you so much. How appropriate that we are in the midst of Pride Month for you to tell that story, Doug, and to pull it into such a life-affirming story. Thank you. Please welcome once again Elevation. We love that name, don't we?
Is Remy ready?
Remy's ready.
Remy's ready?
Yeah.
Ready, Remy.
Back when I had a little, I thought that I needed a lot. A little was overrated, but a lot was a little more complicated. See, zero didn't satisfy me, a million didn't make me happy. But that's when I learned the lesson, that it's all about your perception. Hey, are you a pauper or a superstar? So you act, so you feel, so you want. It's not about the size of your car, it's about the size of the faith in your heart. And there's hope, doesn't cost a thing to smile, don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. There's hope, doesn't cost a thing to smile, you don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. Out in the back country of Brazil, I met a young man who made me feel I could accomplish anything. You see, just like me, he wanted to sing. He had no windows and no doors, lived a simple life and was extremely poor. On top of all of that, he had no eyesight, but that didn't keep him from seeing the light. He said, what's it like where you're living today? And all I did was complain. Told me living here is paradise. Paradise is in your mind. You know there's hope, doesn't cost a thing to smile, don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. There's hope, doesn't cost a thing to smile, don't have to pay to laugh. Better thank God for that. There's hope. Every time I turn on the TV, there's hope. Somebody's acting crazy. There's hope. And if you let it, it will drive you crazy. There's hope. So I'm taking back my power today. There's hope. Gas prices, they keep on rising. There's hope. Government, they keep on lying. There's hope. We've got to keep on surviving. Keep living the truth and do the best you can do. There's hope. Doesn't cost a thing to smile. Don't have to pay to laugh. Better thank God for that. There's hope. Doesn't cost a thing to smile. Don't have to pay to laugh. Better thank God for that. There's hope. Stand up for your right. Keep shining the light, so the world will smile. There's hope. Stand up for your right. Keep shining your light, so the world will smile. There's hope. Doesn't cost a thing to smile. Don't have to pay to laugh. Better thank God for that. There's hope. Doesn't cost a thing to smile. Don't have to pay to laugh. You'd better thank God for that.
Yeah, give it up for elevation. Elevation. Woohoo! What a Sunday. Oh, golly. These guys are pretty weird. Okay, so now is the time that I get to tell you how you can support the center, as I always say, by showing up. Thank you very much for that. You can also send your tithe, your gift, your offering, your donation to us via e-transfer if you're here in Canada. We're working on getting something called mobile giving, or as you say in Canada, mobilegiving.ca. We're getting that together, and that way you can just give using your cell phone, so that'll be really cool. Also, if you're in the States, by PayPal, make sure you mark it for Canadian dollars because that works better for us accounting-wise. You can send a check. I just picked up the mail today, and there was a check from somebody, so thank you very much. Or you can call the office and talk to Kat. She's here from 10 to 3, Monday through Thursday. Incidentally, Kat's getting married in August. How exciting is that? I know. Woohoo! So anyway, you can talk to her and tell her congratulations. And also you can sign up for Conscious Giving, or if you just want to do a one-time donation with your card or your debit card. So those are the ways that you can support the center financially. Thank you very much. As with everything, when things slow down, but not when we are living in the flow. Yes? Yeah. So let's say our conscious giving affirmation together. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow. And all that I give returns to me multiplied abundantly. I am so blessed. And so it is, and so it is. So we're gonna go with love, just because love feels right today.
I thank love for everything. 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 I thank love for
Every time.
It has to happen, apparently. Okay, so we're going to do our closing. I'm holding a mic, so I may have a little problem. I'm going to rely on you all to get that energy going. So start rubbing your hands together. Here we go. All right, I can do it. I can do it. We're going to send this out into the world. We're going to send it where it is needed, this energy of love. So any place where you are thinking of that really, really needs a little extra dose of that love energy, send it there. Set your intention and send it there. So on a count of 3, 1, 2, 3, whoosh. Pew, 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 pew. Okay, thanks for being here. See you next week. Love you. Bye.
My voice is soars, but will I speak up? My eyes do see, but will I look? These boots do walk, but will they show up? Gotta give up my people-pleasing ways, shed the lies of yesterday. These hands are strong, but will they break through this well-laid walls of doubt and shame? My heart's been drenched in brick and mortar, but I brought the wall into the world and I can tear it down. So watch out, I am, don't hide it. I'm through stumbling around. Wake up, time has come for me to know it, own it, love it, speak it, show it. Unstoppable, blue eyes that see the haters lifted. This pounding heart won't be contained. I now can hear the faintest whisper, rumbling, rising, thumping, driving. Well, my soul has gotta sing. Watch out, I am done with hiding. I'm through stumbling around. Wake up, time has come for me to know it, only love it, speak it, show it. Unstoppable, playing hide and seek. With all my secret dreams, I can keep them locked inside of me. I can choose to live them out, oh, I can choose